Hey, welcome back, American Government class. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, May 19th, 2021. Who cares about it being Hump Day? I do. You know why? One reason. 1 week left, y'all. 1 week from today, you'll be done. Last class, 1 week from today. It's not even our class. It's a B-Day class. We got 1 week left. That means 5 days of school. That means 3 days left of this class, including today. Let the countdown begin. I hear, huge party at Angel's house Wednesday night. I don't know. Hit me up in the email for the details. What do we got today? Last class review. Let's start off there. Last class, what did we do? Oh my gosh. We took a lot of notes. We talked about the vice president, all right? The basic roles the vice president has. How basically one of his jobs is just to be alive. Hey, I'm here. I'm alive. If something happens to the president, I'll step on in. Other one is to vote in place of a tie. Simple as that. Now remember, back in the day, vice president didn't seem to have that much power. No one really cared about being the VP. Now, huge honor, huge responsibility, and hopefully it leads you to the presidency, or at least a nomination to hopefully be a candidate for president. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. We also talked about the Electoral College, that darn Electoral College, which is so crazy. Whole lot of stuff going on there. We don't vote for the president. We vote for electors. Each state has electors. It's a winner-take-all system in every state except for 2. Hopefully you remember the 2. Might be on your final. I don't know. You got to get to 270. First to 270 wins. Bang, bang, boom. You're the president. If there's a tie or no one gets to 270, the House picks the president. The Senate picks the VP. Could be crazy. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. But that was the gist of last class. Now, today, we're going to do some presidential trivia. I'm going to throw some things out there to you that basically are just random things that you won't find in reading, but it's common knowledge, things you should know about the president, just basic things. After that, we're going to talk about something called the executive departments. It leads into the presidential trivia. But those are the 2 things we're doing today. Then you'll have an attendance question/assignment that you'll have to do before tomorrow. Then we will have a class on Friday, our last class before the final. And we are going to pack in a whole lot of judicial branch stuff in there. I'm going to give you an overview of it. I'm going to explain some things. This would normally take 2 to 3 weeks, guys. We just ran out of time due to this weird situation we have. So I apologize in advance. But next class is very important because we're going to cover one of the 3 branches of government, an entire branch of government in basically one day. Then on Tuesday of next week, you'll have your final. So I've been talking too long. I know you want to get on with this video. Without any further ado, let's go to presidential trivia. All right, presidential trivia time. What you need for this, basically just a piece of paper and a pencil. Everybody's got that. You're going to take little notes. Really only 4 things that I want you to kind of know. It's trivial stuff, but it's stuff that's kind of common sense that you should know when talking about the president. We're not talking about, hey, which president died and got stuck in a bathtub and who married his cousin. None of that stuff. Don't care about that random trivia stuff. What I care about is some basic knowledge. So we're going to start off with number 1. Oh, Miss Landy would be proud. Look at that house. That, my friends, is Mr. Whitebaw's rendition of the White House. Doesn't look anything like that. You've seen pictures of it. This unit, I showed you pictures of. We started some videos with it. 2 sides, heavily gated area. It is a fortress. It is hard to penetrate the White House. You can't just break in. People have tried. People have died. I don't recommend it. The White House is where the president lives. But let me ask you this question. Where does the president work? Lives in the White House. Where does the president work? Also in the White House, there are 2 wings, or we should say sides. Think of it as a huge mansion with 2 different sides. You come in the front doors, you got a side over here, a side over here. More specifically, wings to the house. You have the West Wing. That is where the president works, in the West Wing of the White House. There was actually a TV show about it many years ago. Great show that explained the ins and outs of what it takes to run the country. That's where the president and his staff all work. Remember, president has a lot of staff they all work in the West Wing. He works specifically in the Oval Office. Why do they call it the Oval Office? Well, my friends, it's an office in the shape of an oval. Circular room, ovular room, I guess. Some secret entries, some back doors. One leads right to the Chief of Staff, which is one of the President's advisors. Room was built to intimidate people, but there's not a lot of exits. It's just a cool office. If you ever get a chance to take a look at it, Oval Office is what it's called. That's the President's office where he does most of his work. However, from time to time, you will find the President in something called the Situation Room. Again, very aptly named the Situation Room because you go to that room when you have a situation. If there's going to be a bombing, if there's going to be a war, if there's going to be anything going on that involves the country's security, you're certainly going to the Situation Room. You have a whole bunch of technology in there. You're going to be able to call in bombs, call in attacks, defend yourself, move troops. That's where the President goes to kind of handle the four branches of military: your Army, your Marines, Air Force, and Navy. So Situation Room is where you do all that nasty, dirty work. Lives in the East Wing of the White House. In the East Wing of the White House, man, it's crazy. I wish I could tell you all the things. They get to add stuff. There's been a bowling alley in there. They've got a kitchen that is open 24 hours. You can get whatever you want. If you want pizza with pineapple, you go get you some pizza with pineapple. I like your taste. You want pizza with anchovies? Gross. You go get it. You want ice cream at 3 in the morning? You go get ice cream at 3 in the morning. Whole lot of stuff in the East Wing. Lots of bedrooms, lots of places for other people to stay, lots of places to run a family, raise a family. So President and the President's family live in the East Wing. Speaking of the President's family, we'll travel on down here to number 2, the President's wife. For now, the President's wife is called the First Lady. That is her title. Now, what if we had a president that was a female? Well, very simple. The President's wife, or husband in this case, would be called the First Gentleman. You would not have First Lady because the lady would be the President. However, right now, and throughout history, we have only had male presidents. Hopefully we see that change soon. But the President's wife is referred to as the First Lady. Many responsibilities for the First Lady. They don't just get to sit back and be like, yo, 4 years of me chilling in a mansion. No. They usually pick one giant cause to work for. First Lady Michelle Obama, hers was health and making sure that kids were eating better and being healthier. Melania Trump, Trump's First Lady, hers was to stop internet bullying amongst people. But they usually take one cause to get behind and try to work for it. They do have many other responsibilities, though. They will go to dinners. They will go to events where they give speeches. They will be, from time to time, asked about policies and give their advice. But really, not a whole lot of executive power if you are the First Lady or the First Gentleman, First Husband. Most of your roles are ceremonial, except for that one cause you try to get behind and garner some momentum to get things done. Now, the First Lady right now, Dr. Jill Biden. Joe Biden's wife, she's a doctor. Her name is Jill Biden. That might be something you need to know as well. All right, moving on from the President's family, we're going to go up to how the President and his family get around. They do have some armored cars that they'll drive around Washington, D.C. if they need to. But if they're flying from place to place, you got this beautiful airplane. President's got 2 of them, known as Air Force One. Maybe you've heard the song, maybe you've seen the shoes, maybe you've heard about Air Force Ones, and you thought they were just shoes. No, my friends, they come from the President's plane. Now, technically, whatever plane the President is on is known as Air Force One. That's the call title. So when they're talking all in their walkie-talkies and headsets and landing and taking off, air traffic control, whatever plane the President's on is referred to as Air Force One. However, the President does have two planes. One They always get exchanged out. Always make sure everything's working, that nothing goes wrong, that there's no terrorist attacks, that nobody's trying to break any of the fuel lines or engines. But has his own plane, which is crazy. It is huge. It's like a mansion in the sky and a fortress in the sky. There's offices, there's bedrooms, there's a kitchen with a chef, just like in the White House. And you can basically be up there for 24 hours. In fact, a lot of times when there's terrorist attacks, the country's under attack, if they need to move the president, they'll put him up in the sky and say, hey, it's hard to get you up here. You're just going to be up here for a while. Has 2 planes. Whichever one, like I said, is called Air Force One. However, he does travel, or the president will travel, in a helicopter sometimes just to get to close areas. Marine One is what that helicopter is called. Usually you'll find a 1 with anything next to it that the president is using. Now finally, we've talked about where the president lives, the family, how they travel. What about the president's friends? Well, maybe not friends, but how about advisors? See what this is? That right there is called a cabinet, baby. That's a good cabinet. No, don't be hating on my cabinet. That's a dope cabinet right there. Look, you got the handles, the doors. It's a good cabinet. I mean, it's black. Not a lot of black cabinets. I don't have a wood color marker, all right? What are we talking about the cabinet for? The cabinet, my friends, is also known as the executive departments, and those are the presidential advisors. Remember I told you the executive branch is huge. Whole lot of people working in it. Whole lot of areas in our government that you have to control. So you got to have some people. You got to have some help. So you have the cabinet, which is the leader of all these different divisions, these different areas. If you recall, the cabinet members are people that the president appoints, but they must be confirmed by the Senate. Cabinet advisors, all right? We're talking about your Secretary of State, your Secretary of Treasury, your Defense Secretary. Tons of these people. And in fact, you are going to be learning about them today. If you remember right over here, the executive departments, that's basically the work you're going to be doing. So these are the notes that I want you to have down, just some basic notes, 4 things, stuff about, oh, and I almost forgot right down here, the address of the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's the most famous address in the world, except for maybe, I don't know, the North Pole. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, that's the address of where the president lives. If you ever hear something about that, you know, they're talking about the White House. I think there was a movie back in the day, too, about a murder in the White House. It was called 1600 or 1600 Pennsylvania, I don't know. That's the address. These are the notes that you need. Now, for today's assignment on the executive departments, you're going to have to do some reading. You got about 3 pages of reading, not a lot, and then you've got to do some skimming on like 3 or 4 other pages. And it's going to be all about the executive departments and cabinet positions. I'm going to go ahead and put that paper on the screen right now, explain it to you, but that paper should also be in your email for you to fill out today. And then we'll go ahead and put the reading pages on this video as well. All right, so we're going to start off with the assignment. The first page is right here. It says Section 1, use pages 229 to 232. I'll show you those pages in a second. But there are 10 questions on this page. Fill in the blank, some listing. But basically go through all 10 of these. You'll see them in the first few pages of the reading. The second page, or the back page of this document, is right here. It's another 20 or so questions, but much more easy. You're just skimming through the final 3 or 4 pages of the reading to find out what the department is right here. And then for 19 through 28, now state in which department the agency is located. So same thing. You're basically just putting the departments right here. The Department of blank, the Department of blank, blah, blah, blah. Then 29 and 30. You're going to answer these guys individually. And obviously these are pictures and you can't get into this document, unfortunately, so you're going to have to write these out yourself. If you just want to put the number and then the correct answer, that is completely fine. Now here are the first few pages of the reading for the front side. And now here are the next few pages for page 2 of your executive department's paper. Okay, so there are the pages that you have to skim through. First page is you got to read through. Last page is you're just going to use to fill out that backside of the executive department's worksheet. But 2 things to send to me. Number 1, send me your trivia notes that we went over today. I know there's a glare. It's kind of hard. Maybe if I stand here. Can't. Whatever. Number 1, send me your trivia notes. Everything that was on the board before this. The White House, the cabinet, First Lady, Air Force One, all that stuff. Send me those notes. And then also send me your executive department handout that I just showed you guys and that is in your email right now. I believe there are, 30 total questions. 30 total questions. Not bad. Back page is really just filling those in. It's really easy. You just got to skim through, find out which department is in charge of those things. The first page, pretty simple. But it asks you some more questions where you will have to do a little bit of reading. If you have any questions, if you need any help, let me know. I'm here to help you out. Know it's a lot today, but hey, we told you got two big classes left. Today's and what do we got? Fridays, and then you got finals on Tuesday, all right? So, again, if you need any help, go ahead and let me know. If not, you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on Friday for our judicial branch overview.